Hi, happy World Breastfeeding Week. Today is Wednesday, August the 1st, and that means that it is kicking off World Breastfeeding Week. So today we are celebrating World Breastfeeding Week by having our question and answer time dedicated to how you are celebrating World Breastfeeding Week. So we want to hear from our moms, and if there's any lactation and breastfeeding professionals and supporters that are out there listening, we would love to see your comments, your questions surrounding the topic that we have today of World Breastfeeding Week. So basically, World Breastfeeding Week is just that. It is a week from August 1st through August the 7th around the world where they celebrate a specific topic surrounding breastfeeding and what can be done to not only provide more awareness and education, but support to those moms that are currently breastfeeding or future moms and families. So keep those comments and those questions coming as we have this time dedicated to your questions and your concerns. And we want to hear how you're celebrating this week. Whether it's pumping, whether it's going to a local event or a walk, we want to hear from you. We want to celebrate you. So this year, the topic for World Breastfeeding Week is Foundation of Life. So let's talk about that a little bit. We did post the World Breastfeeding Week logo on our Spectra Baby USA Facebook page and Instagram account. So we welcome you to check that out. But what's really cool is looking at why they did that logo and what it means. So it says that it's called a triad. So it is 2 adults and an infant, which reinforces the importance of working together to protect, promote, and support breastfeeding, which is really important because anybody that is breastfeeding, whether it's directly at breast or whether pumping, you need somebody in your corner. You need to have the support of your family, of your coworkers, of your partner. You need somebody in your corner that's there to be your cheerleader, right? To cheer you on, to have your back, to rub your feet, whatever the case is. So that's why they're saying that they have the 2 adults and the infant in that logo. It talks about how that the branches, leaves, and sprouts in the graphic represent growth and development, and that the line that extends from the triad and sprouting into leaves and the links between breastfeeding and nutrition, food security, and poverty reduction. So basically this year, what they're trying to showcase around the world is the importance that breastfeeding has on those various aspects. So not only can it help to ensure food security for infants and young children, but it also can ensure that it helps to reduce hunger and poverty. So if we look at that, if you've ever heard or seen some of the statistics surrounding breastfeeding, it talks about that for every baby that is breastfed, it actually saves the country and the nation a lot of money. So for example, the US Surgeon General talked about that if every baby were to breastfeed, even just one time, it would save the nation billions of dollars a year in healthcare costs. So that alone is pretty astounding. It really is. So how can we celebrate World Breastfeeding Week in your area? One thing that you can do is looking for what's called the Big Latch On. So has anybody heard about that? Is anybody planning to attend? The Big Latch On is a really cool event. It's where a lot of local moms and breastfeeding professionals and companies, they get together to support the breastfeeding community. And the reason why it's called the Global Big Latch On is because what happens is that if you've ever been to one or if you haven't, listen up. What they do is that at one particular time, they say, okay, are you ready? Set, go. And so everybody latches on their baby at once. And what's awesome is that I've been there. many times because we do have 4 little ones. But the other part of that that's really cool is I've been there when moms have just latched on their pump and they started pumping, and that's counted too, because that's breastfeeding too, right? So it's awesome. It's so empowering to be surrounded by moms and women that are all in the same boat together, that we're all walking in the same shoes, and to just be able to see, you'll be able to go to the World Breastfeeding Week website and you'll be able to see how the tally continues to go up as to how many people at one time were all breastfeeding and or pumping at the same time, which is really, really cool. And it's really empowering to see how many people are there to support you and have your back, whether it's virtually or in person. So that's really cool. So we'll make sure to provide that link to you. It is biglatchon.org. And what you can do is go to that website and you can locate a Latch On event that is in your particular area or your region. And I welcome you or encourage you to be able to go and participate, because it's a really cool, empowering event. So one thing that is really important to convey during this time and during this week is that this week is not intended by any stretch of the imagination meant to make anybody feel in a poor way. So in other words, what I mean by that is that it's not meant to make anybody feel less important or to feel less of a person or as a parent, no matter what their decision is to feed, how to feed their baby, or how long that they breastfed or pumped. And that's really, really important to convey, because one thing to keep in mind is that it's a grieving process for a lot of women that they planned to breastfeed for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. And when that doesn't happen, it's a grieving process. It's a loss. And so it's really important for us to recognize that. And so again, we are here to support moms and to support you, no matter what your decision is, no matter what your plan is, we're here to support you. So again, we talked about the Big Latch On and how that you can go to biglatchon.org to find an event around you. Another thing that you can look into is that if you go to our Spectra Certified IBCLC Facebook page, we did post the World Breastfeeding Week video. It's an informational video from a couple years back, but it is really cool to see some of the information of people that are interviewed from around the world, because it is really neat to keep in mind that not only we are celebrating in the United States, but it's happening all over the world. So moms, how are you celebrating? Are you pumping right now? Are you wearing your breastfeeding support t-shirt? I do have mine on. It's peace, love, and breastfeeding. So when I was trying to figure out what I was going to wear today, our 4-year-old goes, "Mommy, what about this one? I love purple, and it has a mommy nursing." So I love that. I love it. I love how the families get involved, because it is really important to have that support. So again, you can do the Spectra Certified IBCLC Facebook page for that YouTube video. We'll give you the link for where to find a local global latch on that's around by you. And just to bring some attention to the World Breastfeeding Week theme this year, it's really about informing our community and those that support us on the link between good nutrition, food security, poverty reduction, and how breastfeeding really impacts all of those elements. So I would encourage you to really go to the World Breastfeeding Week website, which again, we have showcased on our Spectra Baby USA Facebook page, and really click that link and read a little bit more about it, so that when people ask you, you can say, "Hey, well, actually, I know that." The other part about that is the anchor, how breastfeeding is the foundation of life. So it is important to keep in mind that the World Health Organization, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and a whole bunch of really important agencies and associations, that they recommend exclusive breastfeeding, which means just mother's milk, for the first 6 months of life, and to continue breastfeeding with complementary foods added at 6 months for at least the first 2 years or until what's amicably decided between mom and baby. So I know it's come up a lot in our mom groups where they say, are there really benefits to continue to breastfeed past a year? The answer is emphatically yes. Yes, yes, yes. One of the biggest things that I've noticed with our little ones and those I've been able to be honored enough to be a part of professionally and personally is that babies that are breastfed, that they have less incidences of illness. And when they are sick, the duration is a lot shorter. So keep in mind, moms, that whenever you're exposed to an illness or a sickness, your body creates these awesome antibodies that go into your breast milk, and it's passed to baby so that baby either one doesn't get the same illness, or if they are exposed to it and they do get some version of that it's less severe, which is really awesome, because us mommies that have to go back to work after baby's born, we miss a lot less work the more that our baby is breastfed. So the other part of that is to engage with individuals and organizations that to make a greater impact. So whether it's finding a support group in your area, a mom group, La Leche League, even just a mom group of other mommies that you know that are going through similar situations such as you are, breastfeeding support groups, or even professional organizations, to really get that information and support out there for moms that are breastfeeding and or pumping, because it's really important, again, to not only have that education out there, the awareness to make change and to support each other. Because we have come a long way throughout the years, such as how insurance companies have to provide breast pumps to every pregnant and nursing mother. That's a huge thing that hasn't always been around. How that now all 50 states make it so that you cannot be harassed or arrested for breastfeeding in public. That's huge. That came from individuals and organizations coming together to make change. That's not always been around either. So there are more things that we can do to make positive changes. And that's how that happens, is by all coming together. So also the last part of that is, for this World Breastfeeding Week theme, is what's called galvanize. And what that means is taking action to advance breastfeeding as part of good nutrition, food security, and poverty reduction. So what exactly does that mean? Again, you can go to the World Breastfeeding Week website, and we have it linked on our Spectra Baby USA Facebook page. But also keeping in mind that, you know, a lot of places, even within the United States and around the world, they may not have access to a clean water supply. And that's another big factor to keep in mind too of encouraging breastfeeding, because we don't need to open and mix anything, right, if we're nursing breastfeeding at breast. So that is a big element where it can really help to reduce a lot of negative situations, such as illness or malnutrition, or even some cases where babies perish because the water supply is contaminated and they're trying to mix it with artificial baby milk, whether it's powder or concentrate. So there are a lot of different factors that play into that, but also the fact that if you're nursing at breast, you're not having to purchase other supplies as much as a baby that is artificially fed. So again, we encourage all mommies and all families and all individuals of all walks of life, no matter what decision that they make, just to be informed and to make an educated decision when it comes to your little ones, as to whether you breastfeed or not, the duration, in other words, the length of time that you're breastfeeding, and the importance of what's called exclusive breastfeeding, of just providing mother's milk for the first 6 months of life. So we are here to support you. We have 24/7 assistance by our Spectra Certified IBCLC Facebook page. And then you can also get assistance on our Spectra Baby USA page. And we have Twitter, Instagram, and all sorts of wonderful resources for you. And we are really here to support you in any way that we can. And again, we're not here to cause any sort of negativity for any, parents or families that make a decision outside of anything than one particular path. We're here to support you whatever way that you're coming to us today or anytime. We are here to support you along your journey. So we would love to hear about how that you are celebrating this wonderful World Breastfeeding Week and how you're kicking it off today. And we encourage you to get involved in your local community, your state, or even beyond, because it's always awesome to create positive impact and to create more awareness, because it's really important. So we appreciate you joining us today, and please let us know what we can do to best support you. And we hope that you have a fantastic week celebrating. Enjoy your little ones. All right, you guys have a fantastic day.